So hello everybody, I hope you're all having a great day. It's the end of another busy session at ARROUND. My name's Neil, of course, and it goes without saying that I want to give a big shout out to all of our wonderful contributors and supporters, and thanks for all the questions that you've sent me. So today I thought I'd provide a little guide to augmented reality, what it offers, what the opportunities are in the space, and why we're so interested in it. So firstly, well, it's not a new technology. It actually dates back to 1968, if you can believe that, although the actual term augmented reality wasn't coined until 1990 by a researcher at Boeing Labs. Probably the first widespread use of AR was in 1998, when a yellow line was put over a football broadcast in the US so that the viewers could actually see the progress being made by each team. That was very basic and rudimentary AR, but it's still AR. We could do a lot more than that now, of course. So this is a good time to describe what AR actually is. I suppose the best way to describe it is that it's the display of additional digital information onto the real world. So AR is actually the combination of a number of different elements that all combine to create AR, or what we call AR. So firstly, you need a screen which can accept digital information. Now, any screen will do, glass, for example. Secondly, you have to have the digital information to overlay onto the screen, but where the real world is still visible. So think of this in very simple terms, as for example, your car projecting the speedometer onto the windscreen so you don't have to look down to see how fast you're going. If the car has more intelligence built into it, front sensors that detect objects, and at night time, the car screen to display objects onto the windscreen that your headlights might not pick up. Now, this isn't Pokemon Go, right? But it's still AR. It's a very good use of it, in fact. So currently, the smartphone is the only consumer-ready mobile device that can display AR content. I mean, we're waiting for glasses to hit the high streets, but they're not ready yet. They could be ready this year, but possibly next year. But let's go on straight on to the third element of AR, which is GPS. So it means Global Positioning Satellite. So this is used for when you're outside and don't need AR positioning set down to the nearest millimeter. Now, GPS is actually accurate to about 5 square meters right now, depending upon conditions. The weather, example, how many tall buildings are around you, whether you're in a valley or up a mountain. Plus, it also tracks your vertical position, although less accurately. But new Broadcom chips which take advantage of ground stations should be coming to smartphones this year, which improve accuracy to about 30 centimeters. This obviously depends on whether there are any ground stations near you that support this. So we all know GPS from SatNav, and essentially building AR into camera functions is one way to take advantage of this feature. Now, it means you can take AR with you wherever you go. You can build outdoor games like Pokemon Go, of course, or treasure hunts. You can build hiking and bike routes. Essentially, you can insert your own routes and paths, so you don't have to rely on Google Maps to get you from A to B. Now, of course, there are also some non-GPS features of AR. These features are built into the device that you are using. So, for example, motion tracking. Now, using the inbuilt features of your smartphone to determine your motion relative to the environment. Why is this important? Because if you're holding your device and you move left or you move right, you want the AR object to stay exactly where it is. Now, area learning is another important part of AR, and this means that when your camera will create records and store them of the physical environment where the AR experience is supposed to be taking place. So that means we can create, for example, simple navigation from the entrance of a shop to a product on a shelf. It's something that's not yet possible to do with GPS, but it's basically object and environment recognition. This is a very important part of AR. Another part which is depth effect, which means you have to have some perspective in respect to the object or image created in AR. So that means if you move closer towards it, it should get bigger to you. And move further in, it gets smaller. It's very, very important in terms of making AR immersive and interesting and engaging. So who can get AR? Well, for the main, all of these features are now available on the latest Apple smartphones via ARKit and on Android via AR Core on a selected number of phones, but that number is growing all the time. Now, the technology is very novel. Not everyone has used it yet, but it's clear already that it's going to be a mainstream hit this year, which will develop, I think, and grow next year for sure. So what is ARROUND doing with this technology? Well, the first thing we're doing is building a very cool social network based in AR, and it's probably the first of its kind. So we want to maximize the opportunities that AR offers, the specific advantages and possibilities that it offers. So we're giving users the chance to create content and leave it in physical locations around the city for others to discover. For example, restaurant reviews, advice. Users can create content not just based on their interests, but also based on where they hang out, where they live and work. And it uses the geolocation features of AR very well. Now, I'll be talking more about the features of the network in another video, I guess, because there are so many of them, and I have had quite a lot of questions, but it's a subject of another video. So until then, as always, get in touch with me at CEO_ARROUND on Telegram or neil@arround.io by email, and keep your questions coming. So until next time, bye for now.